Hey YouTube, Class 47 Peter here, and I'm here today with another review. And today we're going to be having a look at something that's a little bit different. I'm not going to beat about the bush because you all know what it is I'm going to be reviewing today. It is the Hattons exclusive P class that was announced last year, and it's a model that's been eagerly awaited by many of us. And I've been looking forward to these since they were announced last year back in October. Now I have got two of these models. This is one of them, but I'm going to be reviewing them in separate reviews because I did a poll on the Facebook page, which if you've liked the Facebook page or if you've been on it, then you probably would have noticed the poll. Well, basically I was asking if I should review both P-Class models that I have in one review, doing it as a double review or doing it in separate reviews. And the results came in that they wanted individual reviews, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. So they will both be reviewed in separate reviews. Now this model hasn't been made by any of the manufacturers. It hasn't been made by Hornby, DJ Models or Batman or any of the others. This is a product that's been entirely made by just Hattons. Now like I say, I've got two of these models which both turned up today in the post. The model that we're looking at today in this review is H4-P-012, and this is SE&CR P class 323 Bluebell in Bluebell Railway Line Blue, which is a livery that this loco currently wears, which this is one of the three P classes that's preserved. This one is preserved on the Bluebell Railway, which I have seen in real life. I have seen this loco. I saw her last year at the Seven Valleys Autumn Steam Gala, which you can find the footage of that on my YouTube channel. And this is not a livery that the loco would have carried when it was in service. It's a livery that this loco has only worn in preservation, and this loco was painted in this livery in 2010. I believe, and from what I understand, this loco was painted in this livery to promote the Bluebell Railway. And when I saw her at the Seven Valleys Autumn Steam Gala last year, I was very impressed because it's a gorgeous livery and it is a stunning little loco. So when Hattons announced the P classes, and 323 Bluebell was one of them, I just had to have this one. There's a little bit of bias here because the livery's blue and blue happens to be my favourite colour, but I don't have too many blue livery locomotives, especially steam locos, so that's why I went for this one. But also, it's something different, and you know, I like to have livery variety in my collection, which is what I have. There's only a few liveries that I don't have, so that's why I went for this livery. And also, it is a gorgeous livery, this. And it's a loco I saw at the Seven Valley, and so having seen the real loco, I just had to have the loco in model form. But anyway, enough with the talking. Let's get this model open and see what it's like. Now I have been looking forward to reviewing these models. So this is the packaging, which is very similar to Dapple's packaging. This. It's a very nice firm box. I do like the design on the box as well. We also get a drawing of the model of the P class there on the side, and on the end there you basically get you basically have on the end of the box this label that tells you what you get in the box. It basically tells you what this model is basically, but they have actually got a picture of the model there on the end that has the information on, and I've not seen that before, so that's quite nice. So I'll put that to one side. Normally I'd put the packaging on the floor because normally there's not enough room on here, but because this is only a small box, I can put it on the side here. Then we take away this foam cover, and then we have the instructions for the P class. It's going to be the usual stuff that we've all seen before. So first of all, it tells you about handling the locomotive and operating instructions. On the back it talks to you about fitting crew, which they do produce some locomotive crews for these and the Andrew Barclays. You also get the warranty information and contact details, and then inside you have the analog / digital. So it's basically telling you what controllers it can work with. Fitting a digital decoder, tells you how to do it. Fitting sound, fitting the detail parts, it shows you the parts that you get. So we'll put that to one side, and I'll put that in my folder later on where I keep all my instruction manuals. And there we have the model. So just take out the plastic packaging from this foam packaging. We'll put all these foam pieces back in the box. Then we'll remove the outer plastic sleeve. And before we go any further, we're going to have a look at the detail parts that we get with the model. So in the accessory bag, we get a couple of screw-link couplings, 2 vacuum pipes, we also get a lamp and some oil cans, and we also have some Southern Region route indicator discs to fit on the loco. So with the detail parts now looked at, we can now finish the unboxing. So just undo the clip there to the packaging, and we gently lift the model out. And close that back up. That's something I always tend to do. And then we take away this cellophane sheet protecting the model, and then we lift the model out, and we can now have a look at the model itself. The first thing we're going to talk about is the weight of the model, and this actually really is quite a heavy model considering that this is just a small loco, but we do need the weight in these models because it's there to provide the traction, so the weight is important. And so there's a lot of weight in this model, so you won't have any problems at all with this model pulling trains. Moving on to the detail now, which we have sprung metal buffers, as you can see. So if you like the sprung buffers, then they'll keep you happy. I don't have much care for sprung buffers, but they're there. But they are made out of metal though, which looks nice. And what I do like with the buffers is that they've actually painted the silver paint on here. And that's not something you tend to get normally. So that's a very nice touch, that is, to have them painted. We've also got an M tension lock coupling, so you can swap it out and change it for one of your own if you want. We've got lots of rivets on the buffer beam, as you can see, as well as the locomotive's running number 323 crisply printed there on the front. You also have the holes there for the vacuum pipe and the screw-link coupling to go into, and a separately fitted brake pipe there fitted. We've also got some lovely crisp lining there on the buffer beam and on the buffer housings. That looks fantastic. We have some separately fitted lamp irons on the running board. On the front of the smoke box we have lots of rivets, as you can see. We also have some separately fitted lamp irons, 2 at either side of the steam chest there, just under the smoke box. 1 above the smoke box door. And we also have separately fitted smoke box door darts, which are painted chrome, in a chrome colour, which is similar to silver. And they've even painted the smoke box door hinges there as well, which looks really nice. We have a separately fitted metal handrail running down alongside the boiler and along the smoke box there. Along the smoke box there, I should say, sorry. Slightly stuttered then. Which curves up and around the top of the smoke box door and goes down to the other side there. There's lots of rivets on the smoke box. We have a very nice chimney with some rivets on the bottom, and the chimney cap is painted what I believe is meant to be copper, and that does look really nice. You have some daylight under the boiler there. On the side of the boiler you can see some steam piping there, as well as on the running board you have a wheel arch. On the front of the side tanks we have a separately fitted handrail, and on the front we have some gorgeous crisply printed lining. On the top of the side tanks we have a water filler cap and some rivets. The water filler cap itself doesn't open, but I don't personally expect them to, because it wouldn't be easy, but it's there anyway and it looks nice. You also have a dome which is painted brass. They've not used an actual brass dome, but they have painted it, and so it does look quite nice. You also have the safety valve, in which the bottom of it is painted brass, which looks very nice. You've got some piping there just on the side of the boiler, running into the top of the cab there, as you can see there. On the cab roof we have a whistle, which is made out of turned brass. On the front of the cab we have some rivets and glazing in the cab windows with the window trims painted, which looks good. Does look quite nice. Moving on to the cab roof, we have a roof vent that doesn't open, but it doesn't need to be honest. Some rivets on the cab roof, and the cab roof is painted white, which does look really nice. And the Loco in real life has a white cab roof as well. And so it's nice to have the white cab roof there, which looks really nice. It's the second steam Loco I've got with a white cab roof. On the chassis we have the brake blocks and sanding gear and some guide irons. Crisp lining on the running plate. Here we have a footstep with some lining on. Looks fantastic. And we can't leave out the side rods there, and I'll be looking forward to seeing those move like they do on the real thing. And the wheels, they're painted a gorgeous blue, just like the livery. And of course you get some pipe work running just under the Loco there, under the running plate, and down just behind the footstep there where the cab is. And again the footstep has got some gorgeous crisply printed lining on. Moving on to the side of the cab now, there's some nice rivets there. The locomotive's running number 323, crisply printed. Separately fitted handrails there by the sides of the cab doors. And we have some more pipe work, as well as a builder's plate there. Can't quite read what it says, but it's there. Moving on to the cab interior detail now, and it really is stunning. Just look at that, it looks just like the real thing. The dials, the gauges, the regulator, it's all painted, and it looks fantastic. And the inside of the cab is painted a yellow colour, and that does look really nice. And also you have got the handle there, which looks very nice inside the cab. And just at the front there, the faceplate of the bunker, there's some more detail there as well, as you can just about see. Moving on to the rear of the cab now. We have glazing in the rear cab windows and the window trims painted. We have separately fitted lamp irons on the bunker and just at the running board there, just above the buffer beam. And of course a separately fitted, pre-fitted brake pipe. We have more rivets and stunning crisp lining on the buffer beam there. We have another tension lock coupling, and just like on the front of the Loco, the buffers are indeed sprung. We also have a coal load in the bunker. Now I'm not sure if it's removable. It might be, because there is a little gap, as you can just about see under the coal load there, so it might be removable, but I have tried doing it off camera and I wasn't able to do so. So it could be removable, it just might be difficult to do, but you know. But we have got a coal load there, and that does look nice. You can always scatter coal over the top of this load if you want to, or even remove the coal load and put your own coal load in the bunker. Moving on to the livery now, and the livery is just gorgeous. It's a gorgeous shade of blue, and the correct shade as well, as it is on the real loco. And you have all these bits here, the dome and the chimney cap and the safety valve painted brass. The beautiful crisp lining on the running plate there, and on the buffer beam and on the buffer housings and the footsteps. And also the lining itself on the boiler bands, the side tanks, and on the bunker and round the cab, which is a lighter shade of blue, and it really does stand out. It really does lift the livery, and it pops out at you as well. And it really is a gorgeous livery. It's beautiful, and that's why I went for this livery, because it's a gorgeous livery in real life, and it is on the model. It's been well represented and very well done. It's a very nice even coat of paint, and the lining is all crisply printed as well. And again, it really is beautiful lining. You also have it on the boiler bands there, as I said. That is fantastic. And of course, on the side tanks you've got Bluebell crisply printed there on the sides, and they've used the correct shade of font as well, and I do love the style of the font as well. And you also have the Bluebell Railway logo there, crisply printed, and the detail on that, it's phenomenal. We've also got crisp lining on the rear of the bunker as well, and again the lining is just simply gorgeous. Moving on to the other side of the loco now, which there are some detail differences. For a start, we haven't got the pipework here on this side of the loco. There is some pipework on this side of the cab where the boiler is, but it's slightly different to that on the other side, because on that side it comes out from the front of the cab and bends round to the side. With this pipework it's just flat, and it's also slightly different pipework as well to that on that other side. We also have a Stirling steam reverser there, and just look at the lining on that. It's fantastic. And we have all this pipework as well. We have pipework there on the side of the smoke box running just on top of the boiler there. Pipework coming out to the Stirling steam reverser there running on top of the side tanks. But apart from that, the rest of the detail is the same. But it is great to see these detail differences on each side of the loco as it is in real life. So they have been very well represented. Moving on to the running performance now. And straight out of the box, she's a smooth runner, as you can see. There's no grinding noises, motors burning out or stuttering movement. It's nice and smooth. I do apologise if the camera's also picking up that flickering light bulb. I'm going to have to replace that soon. Don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it is flickering. Now we come on to the loaded test run. Now I'm going to be getting Bluebell running 2 trains in this review. First of all, I've got her pulling a passenger train with 3 of these Mansell coaches behind her. As you can see, she can manage them with no problems at all. They are only 3 coaches, but bearing in mind this locomotive wouldn't be pulling a 10 coach long train in real life. I've now got Bluebell pulling a goods train. There's 5 wagons plus a brake van, so I suppose you could count that as 6 wagons altogether, and she can manage them with ease. And bear in mind, some of these wagons have got loads in them as well. So overall then, the Hattons exclusive South Eastern Chatham Railway P-Class is a faultless model. It really is. It really is a stunning model. And this is the first time that there's been a model produced entirely by Hattons. And they've done a superb job of her. Well done, Hattons. I take my hat off to you for this. Thank you for giving us the South Eastern Chatham Railway P-Class for our layouts. So on that note, I'm going to rate the Hattons exclusive P-Class a 10 out of 10. I thoroughly recommend these models, and if you haven't got one yet, I definitely get one. You won't be disappointed. But that's all I have time for today in this video. Thank you for watching. In the next review, I'll be reviewing my other P-Class, which is in the South Eastern Chatham Railway grey livery. So I'll be looking forward to reviewing that one. But for now, this is Class 47 Peter. Hope you've enjoyed this review. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out my other content. Take care.